Hello there. How are you? Hope everybody's doing very well. It's this time of the year again, and my summary of my 2023, and taking advantage of this time of the year to wish you all a happy Christmas and a splendid New Year 2024. I hope it will be a little bit better than 2023. It's been a bit of a hectic year for all of us across the world, and I hope that the coming year will bring a lot of happiness, prosperity, and peace to the whole world. I mean, after all we've seen, it's really pathetic to see what's going on, and I hope this stops and comes to an end. From my end, things were relatively okay. It's much better than 2022 by all means. Um, on a family front, things are much calmer. In 2022, my mother had passed away, so there was a turbulent like 6 month for my father and my sister in particular. Things are much more stable now, and everybody's back to their normal life. Um, Now, I have been having an ongoing project for the past 2 years. It's the famous house, and I'm glad to announce that it just finished like a month ago. So now we have a fully livable house with a nice big garden, a nice neighborhood to live in, great neighbors. Um, Now we're about to start building, a new life, new habits, new rituals, make new friends in this new neighborhood. So in a week from now, so on Friday the 24th of November, I'm having the first housewarming, and I'm inviting a crazy crowd of like 40 people, friends from all over, running friends, CrossFit friends, school friends, people who used to work with me, and all, people from all walks of life, and it's going to be lots of fun. We're having a nice dinner. We're having some live performance by some of our friends. So a guitarist and his wife who happens to sing, and we're gonna have a karaoke night, which should be quite funny. So we'll see what yeah, what will come out of that. I'm really curious to see who will be the ones who will dare and who will be the ones who will shy off. So that's the house. Boys are really excited about it, especially with the center of attraction for them, which is the basketball court in the garden. It's not really a full court; it's just a small board that's hanging somewhere. And we've been already having some of their friends over, spending nights and sharing activities and playing games together and having fun. So that's been lots of fun for them, and it's the place to go if your parents have kicked you out, or if you have nowhere to go, or if you have nowhere to spend the night, or you're in between errands and you have no place to stay in between, or need to go to the toilet or whatever. So they know that already, and they're all very happy about it. And things are the relationship with the boys is going really well, because things are really easy with them. They're really very well brought up and very nice kids, so it makes everything so much easier. Um, from a work perspective, well, it hasn't been the best of my years. I've been quite busy, I have to say, uh, mostly on initiatives more than any actual projects that we paid for. But there's a lot going on. So I'm applying for a grant at the American University in Cairo with a university colleague, and we're trying to develop an application built in augmented reality and virtual reality and artificial intelligence, something that links the school curricula, with the collections of museums and archaeological sites. So it's more on the educational side of things, but it's something that's exciting. University is really excited about this. We've been already approached by investors who are interested in something similar, and who want to expand into Africa in particular and a little bit into the Middle East, particularly Saudi Arabia. So we'll see what comes out of this. The grant is not that big, but it will keep us going for about a year. and then we'll see where this takes us and what the next steps will be. I'm also working on projects with some friends. So we're trying to develop a creative hub for a client, and I'm in charge of all the programming of this creative hub. Um, and then I've still got university, so I'm going back to university in January, back to teaching my course on economics of cultural heritage and doing some interesting projects. We're trying to collaborate with the Department of Computer Science this year. Last year we had a very, very successful collaboration with the Department of Graphic Design, and the project that my students and the students of graphic design came up with was by all means impressive. We were all, in awe as they were presenting their project. It was something we were all very, very proud of, and I think the students were highly excited, especially the younger ones. They were super excited about, what they could do and how they could collaborate with people from, different backgrounds. Health, everything's going fine. Can't complain. I've had a very, very good year. Athletically, I couldn't have been any better. So between 2022 and 2023, I participated in 4 races. So two 10 kilometers and two half marathons. And the first one, I have to say, was rather difficult. It was the first half marathon in like 5 years, and it was really, really tough. I almost fainted during the race, and it was really tough. But I made up later on. I think it was March, maybe, or May. I can't remember. May. Yeah, I think it was in May, and I did super well. But and this year I was supposed to participate 2 weeks ago in the Alexandria Half Marathon. I was very well trained, very well prepared, and just one day before I fell ill. I got the flu, and I didn't realize it until I started running in the race, and I couldn't breathe. I was sweating like a bull. I was really exhausted, and like 2 kilometers down the line I couldn't take it anymore, and I struggled and struggled until I managed to do 7 kilometers, and then after that I just stopped completely, and I thought it was ridiculous, and I decided to drop out, and it was the very first time to drop out of a race. I was terribly disappointed, but then I knew I couldn't do anything about it. You're ill, what could you do? So anyway, tomorrow, so that's Friday the 17th of November, I am running 21 kilometers all on my own. I'm running from my place to a neighborhood which is like 19 kilometers away from where I am, and that will make me satisfied for the half marathon I missed out on. I think this is all a trial for something I have applied for, and that's the full marathon in Paris on the 7th of April, which coincides, by the way, with the birthday of Taimur, my younger son. So that's something I've been dreaming of doing for the past 7 years. Finally, I made the decision. I just clicked the register button, and here we are. So I'll start training mid-January for 3 months, and then I'll be heading to Paris. So we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna work really hard for it for 3 months. I'm gonna focus on all aspects. And what would be really amazing if any of you guys could actually be there for me to support me, especially over the last 10 kilometers. Those are the hardest and the ones where you are mentally, destroyed, and you need this push, you need this cheer. So if any of you could make it to the race, that would be an amazing, chance to meet all of you, and for you to support me in my race. There's something very important I forgot to tell you about, and that's very interesting. Now, one of my projects is I was approached by a company that does video productions, and they're very interested in the story of my great uncle, and they wanted to turn it into a 10-minute documentary, which is really short, and they will use this as a teaser to approach video on demand platforms. So Netflix and the local version of Netflix in the region is called Shahid. and we'll see, if this is good enough for them to get their attention and for them to turn it into a movie, or into a long documentary, or into a series, or even into a podcast. So the material is so rich that all possibilities are just as interesting as one another, and they're all doable. So right now, I've finished the script for the 10-minute documentary. The screenplay is put in place. We have a plan. We know exactly what we're going to do. We know who we're going to interview. The footage is very clear to us. We know exactly what we will need in terms of resources. Um, and we're supposed to start filming anytime soon. So I hope before the end of this year, 2023, this movie will be finished, and we will have something ready, and I'll be more than happy to share that with you once it is available. So that's basically it. I mean, there's nothing really more to talk about. I just want to, as I said, take the opportunity to wish you all a very happy Christmas and a wonderful New Year. And I hope this year brings you good health, prosperity, and happiness to you and all your loved ones. Take good care of yourself and stay in touch.